Okay, guys, I think we can get started now. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm Adi, and yeah, today we're gonna have our third developer webinar. Thank you all for joining once again, and yeah, let's get started. So this is session 3 of the MOI Builder series, Agents on MOI, and 2 sessions ago we deployed our first logic on MOI. Last week we minted native assets, and today is about the agents themselves, how you put your agent on chain with the SDK in just a few lines, and then how agents essentially find each other on chain and talk to each other. I'm going to show this demo. I'm going to show this in two different ways. First is going to be a bare SDK, which is one script, and then the same thing through a real agentic framework, all live on the devnet. Let's get started. And as always, Vartan's going to be helping me out here. If you guys have any questions in the chat, um, please do drop them, and I'll try to answer them as we go. But yeah, let's get started. So, quick callback before we go further, because today builds on the last 2 sessions. In session 1, the idea I asked you to carry was that MOI is participant centric. Every participant owns their own identity and their own state. Session 2 took that and made assets a first class protocol primitive. Your tokens are protocol objects, not contracts. And today is a natural next step. The agents that hold those assets and act on the chain also need their own identity. A way for agents to exist on chain, a way for agents to be found on chain, and a way for them to be reached. And that's what the registry gives them. By the end of this hour, you'll have put your own agent on MOI, and you'll have watched two agents discover each other and talk. So here's the plan. First, the concept, what the on-chain directory actually is and what the SDK gives you. Then we're gonna have demo one. I'm gonna register an agent with nothing but the bare SDK, one script, one transaction. Then I'll show you the open clause skill we wrote on top, and that will be demo two, which is essentially we have two open clause agents, Jack and Jill, registering themselves on MOI, finding each other through the registry, and having a very short conversation. All this live on the devnet. And then we close with a challenge like we've done the last couple of weeks. So you can earn points, you can earn KMOI tokens by doing it yourself, plus a bigger bounty at the end. And yeah, let's dive in. So now, what is this idea? What is this thing? The agent registry. It's the agent registry is just a public list. Anyone with the DevNet wallet can register an agent and read every other agent. I want to be precise about what the SDK actually gives you. Um, So from the SDK, you can do essentially three things. You can register your agent on chain, you can query the agents that exist, and update your agent status. That's it. That's the whole SDK. Discovery isn't a special feature per se. It's just essentially reading the chain, listing who's registered, and messaging, and yeah, essentially just picking up properties of each registered agent. And messaging is not an SDK call at all. The registry stores each agent's endpoint. And once you've read that endpoint off the chain, reaching the agent is just a normal HTTP request that you write. So the honest framing, the SDK gives you identity and discovery as an extension to that, um, and messaging is your own code. And there are a few other admin rights too that the SDK offers you. For example, you can update your agent's card, you can transfer ownership, you can set scores, but the integration path for most devs is register, read, and optionally, flip status. Um, and yeah, that's essentially the quick rundown of what the SDK does. And so this is the whole integration for most developers, and it's just about 10 lines of code. Let me walk through it, then I'll actually run it. The mental model first. Registering an agent isn't deploying anything or uploading anything anywhere. Your agent is already running somewhere. It has a public URL and its agent card already live. The agent card, which is the little JSON file that describes the agent, its name, its capabilities, it's already hosted somewhere too. All you're doing here is telling the MOI registry this agent exists, and here's how to reach it. Here's where its card lives, its agent card lives, and you're also telling it who, what its capabilities are and who owns it. And that's the entire idea. I mean, that's the entire premise of what registering an agent on chain means. And now the code. So we'll walk through this from top to down. Up top, we import the wallet and provider from the js-moi-SDK, and we import agent registry from the js-moi-agent uh, registry SDK. Um, we build a wallet from a mnemonic. It's the same thing we've done the last couple of sessions. That's the identity that will own the agent, so the agent's manager or owner, and connect it to the devnet. Then agent registry init. Um, and notice we pass it just the wallet and nothing else, because there's nothing to essentially upload or host at this point. The registry only needs to know who's signing, then the two pieces that actually describe the agent, which is the URL, which is where the agent is reachable, and the card URI, which is the JSON card we were talking about earlier, and where it's being hosted. Just these two strings you provide, and the one line that does the work, which is register agent. We pass the URL, the card URI, and the agent's wallet, and that signs a single transaction, writes the identity of the agent on chain, and hands us back an agent ID. Only those pointers go on chain. The card itself stays off chain where it already is. In production, you swap the two example URLs for your real ones, and nothing else changes. So yeah, let me quickly run it. So I'll register, and that's a quick flow of the demo. Give me a second. So this is the file we were working with. Um, Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Where was I? I was on cursor. So what I'm gonna do over here is I'm essentially gonna hit this file. I've just named it register-agent.mjs. So node register-agent.mjs. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Um, Hey guys, so sorry about that. Yeah, I ran into a bit of a technical issue. We're back now, so I'm gonna do it now. Yeah. Oop. Yeah. Should be. So I'm just gonna hit node register agent.mjs, and it usually takes a couple of seconds, but yeah, there we go. So this is the agent ID. So agent 40 has been created. I've just put a dummy URL and dummy JSON card URI, and this is linked to my account. So I'm registered as the owner for this. Just to verify that this has taken place, we are going to verify the same transaction on Voyage. Yes, so finalize interaction 27 seconds ago. Operations register agent. So this registration, essentially, like I mentioned earlier, it contains all the information about the agent on chain. So the agent's URL, which it can be reached from, and its card URI, amongst other things. And one more really cool thing that we actually have built very recently is like an agent's dashboard for MOI. Um, and this is essentially what that is. So we have like it's a little directory that you can connect your wallet to, and you can register an agent manually, and it essentially shows the list of all agents on the network at this point. So it's like a live directory query right there. I'm not going to get into too much detail in this session regarding this, but this is something we'll be discussing in the future as well. And yeah, so there you go. It's that easy to register your own agent. Only thing you got to do is change the URL and the card URI to your relevant details, and you can actually have it uh, registered on chain within just 10 lines of code. And so yeah, that's the bare SDK. Now that's the same thing through a real agent framework, OpenClaw, because that's essentially how most people will actually use this feature, right? And the key point is that we didn't modify anything with OpenClaw at all. We just wrote one small skill, um, and that's essentially most of the small skill is just scripts from the SDK that we used in demo one, plus a piece that ties it together is this file called skill.md. I'm going to open it for a second and show you guys what the whole idea of skill.md is. So I've created a skill called MOI agent dating, which is a little bit of a sneak peek for something I'm going to do in the future. I'm not going to get into details about this now, but very interesting project. But yeah, so it's basically just plain English. It tells the OpenClaw agent that um, what the skill essentially does and which script to run when you ask something. It's no new blockchain logic. It just connects natural language to the same scripts from demo one. So putting a real externally built framework onto MOI was essential. Um, and that's what this does. And the best part is the same pattern would work for any agent that runs Node. So that's LangChain, Hermes, A2A, you name it. Any kind of agent that you want to work with, you can use over here. So yeah, essentially we have the SDK and we also have a skills wrapper at this point. I'm going to stop for a couple of minutes here just to take any questions if anyone has any. Okay, I guess if we have no other questions for now, I'm going to continue with the presentation. Okay, so once, so that's what I've shown you so far is how to register an agent. Once agents are registered, the two other pieces are very, very simple. Discovery is essentially just a read option where you can just hit get all agents IDs and it'll give you every agent in the directory. Get agent profile gives you one agent's details without any fuel because you're just reading and not writing to it. Messaging is going to be your own code when you want to talk from between two agents, and the registry stores the endpoint of each agent. So essentially, you can resolve the URL from the profile and post a message straight to it. The registry never sees the message. It just told you where to send it. And keep that line clear, keep that separation clear in your head because discovery is on chain, the message itself is off chain, a normal HTTP call. And that's exactly what the OpenClaw skill is doing under the hood in the next demo. Now, before I get into the next demo for OpenClaw, one more thing I want to show you guys is, yeah. So we ran node register agent.mjs earlier. I'm gonna run another file which is discover.mjs. It's essentially what I was talking about on um, using the endpoint get all agent IDs and get agent info. So just to show you how what the registry looks like at this point. Okay, I'll figure this out and get back by the end of the session. But it's normally supposed to load a full set of 15 um, like wallets or agents with their IDs and their owners. Um, but yeah, let's get straight into the OpenClaw demo, I guess. Then let me just. So for the live demo, I've got two OpenClaw agents running on this laptop right now. It's one is Jack, one is Jill. Different profiles, different workspaces, different chat sessions, and each run their own LLM powered by ChatGPT. And they've never heard of each other until this point. The only way that Jack will find is by reading the chain. Jack will find Jill is by reading the chain, and that's what we're going to be showing you now, essentially. But before I get into that, since this session is kind of going to be a little short one, I want to make it a little more interactive. Could you guys each of you drop like a quick line about different ways you've used OpenClaw in the past, like your favorite implementation or your favorite feature, what you guys generally do with it? Says I use Hermes as it grows with memory and more secure compared to OpenClaw. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Hermes recently. It's been getting lot of prop in the last couple of months. I definitely want to try it out as well. But yeah, thanks for that. That's a really interesting answer. I think OpenClaw is probably the most, let's say, modular one at this point, and the most accessible. But definitely Hermes is quite something I want to check out. So yeah, let's get back into the session then. So we got Jack on the left, we got Jill on the right, and now I'm gonna quickly open terminal. And first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the agents. So one is Jack on the left, and then Jill on the right. Now keep in mind these agents already understand the skill I told you guys about earlier. Um, and yeah. So wait, before I actually get into that, let me just walk you through what the demo is going to be. So this is the map for the live part. We're essentially going to register Jack. We're going to register Jill just by asking him to register itself. And I'm going to ask Jack who else is on the registry. and then I'm going to tell Jack to essentially send Jill to a message. And the crucial part about this is they don't know that each other exists at this point. The only way they will find out is because of the my identity. So yeah. So first thing I'm going to do is let me just then the second terminal is going to have Jill. I'm going to put them side by side. Perfect. So we have Jack on the left and we have Jill on the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first ask it to register me on the my registry. While this runs, we can also quickly check on Voyage if the transaction is completed. Yep. Yeah, Voyage generally sees it before Cursor does. But yeah, so we've ran register agent. Um, let's just give it a second while it Yep, there we go. Agent name is Jill. It's registered as agent 42. It's active. This is the URL, and this is the owner's wallet. I'm going to do the same thing for Jack as well. So register me as an agent on the MOI-Agent registry. And the same thing here. I'm just going to check on Voyage if it's created. Yep, it's done on Voyage as well. It'll just take a minute for it to, yeah, there we go. So agent 43, Jack, here's the URL, and um, yeah, so the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask Jack who else is on this registry. Yep, there we go. We have about 42 agents on chain right now, registered on chain. And you can see all of their, you can see, all of their URLs right here. So yeah, so next thing I'm going to say is, so Jill over here is agent 42, right? So I'm going to ask Jack to say hi to Jill. So say hi to agent 42, who is Jill. Yep. And um, Jill responded saying, "Hi Jack, nice to meet a fellow registry regular. Let's keep the on-chain gossip to a minimum and the useful signals flowing." So um, yeah, I mean that's proof that that shows essentially how the registry works, and the implications of this are a lot bigger because obviously the two agents shared no kind of connection config with each other. All they did was pick up information from the Moi network and were able to communicate with each other there. And yeah, I would love to do a couple more prompts there, but I think it's that might take some more time. So I'm gonna skip through that and continue with the presentation. But that's essentially the two main demos. Once again, sorry for the technical difficulties. It was yeah, won't happen again going forward. But yeah, so this is the like overall idea, right? Um, what we've essentially done is Jack resolved Jill's URL from the on-chain profile and posted her message endpoint, like sent her, like posted to her message endpoint. Um, Jill's server runs its own LLM and isn't a canned echo per se. Um, and yeah, like I said, it's both have two LLMs that work separately. They have no shared config between them, just two agent IDs and just the moi registry. um, and yeah, we also saw how Jack said something and then Jill responded. It's two autonomous agents holding a real conversation. So to summarize, demo one, which is the bare SDK, one script, one transaction, one agent ID. That's the whole integration for any agent that already has a URL. Demo two, the same registry through OpenClaw, a real framework via a small skill, register, discover, message, all in plain English, and then the two autonomous agents. Different LLMs found each other on chain and held a conversation. Again, no shared config, just two agent IDs and the registry. Everything you saw is live on the Moi devnet right now. It's queryable by anyone with a Voyage RPC endpoint, and the chain is a single source of truth, not my laptop. And yeah, so I know today was a little bit more of a lighter session, a little more bug fixing and like demo heavy, but the concept is pretty simple because I'm sure most of you guys already work with agents. Um, And so now it's your turn. As always, we're going to start regularly having bounties within these sessions, so y'all can get engaged and actually get your hands dirty. We're doing it slightly differently this time, and you'll find out why on the next slide. But the first one, there's a reward for actually doing this live on chain, and the challenge is very simple, similar to how I created an OpenClaw agent and use a skill. I want you guys to create an agent, register on the devnet, and submit your agent ID plus the wallet that owns it. Do that, and each one of you get 500 KMOI per verified um, submission. Everything's on chain, so I'm going to verify each and every agent myself. Obviously, we have the agent browser as well. Um, and yeah, the submission form is right here. I'm also going to attach it to the Luma. And just like last time, we're going to have step-by-step instructions uploaded to the GitHub very soon. And yeah, that's the first challenge. The second one is a little more open-ended, and it's only a big prize for one person. So it's more of it's a little bit of a competition, but the in-session challenge, what I showed you earlier, is essentially a warm-up. You register an agent, you get points, but here's the real CTA, real call to action. If you go and deploy a genuinely useful AI agent on chain, something people would actually use, and not something that is more of a proof of concept, we'll reward it with 1,000 KMOI. And um, yeah, obviously assuming it's registered on the moi registry, shows what it does. And um, what we want you to do is essentially to submit it on the Discord chat. And if a couple of you have the best submissions, then we'll hand out tokens. We'll reward all of you guys with tokens for this as well. um, and yeah, I'm going to be carefully watching the registry. Please go ahead, build one on your own, and at any point if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And so where does this go from here? Like today, the SDK does three things: it registers queries, updates status, plus multiple other admin features. Next on track, we eventually going to be talking about reputation. We're going to be talking about like how agents are trusted, multi-agent framework skills, and the same pattern, but instead of OpenClaw, we use Hermes and LangChain, for example. There's a lot of different modularity aspects we have over here, and yeah, the repo is up and live already. If you guys want to take a crack at the challenge, please go ahead. And that's the end of the session. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer it. All right, guys. If no other questions, always feel free to reach out on the Discord. I'll be sending this. I'll be sending a quick blurb with the link to both the bounty as well as the GitHub repo for you guys to access very shortly. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the call then. Thank you so much for joining, and hope you all have a nice day.